What's up, everyone? Nick and Hayden here at ProForm. We're going to give you a couple exercises to do as we approach the end of the running season, get into the winter. I know a lot of people still continue to run, but less of the events and races and all that kind of stuff, so it's kind of considered the running off season. We'll give you some specific exercises that can help you stay strong and stay active and really get ready for the next running season starting the spring. All right, so now we're focusing a little bit more on the knee area, and we're going to give a little strength stimulus. So with running, requires you to really lift your foot up and over, right? Create a wheel action. A lot of people have heard Hayden and myself say that. So when we do that, that hamstring really has to pull up. So the hamstring is most commonly trained in the weight room setting in more of a hip hinge, right, into more of the lengthened position. So we want to just prioritize training it as well with that knee bending and pulling in, heel coming towards the bum a little bit. So we're just going to do a hamstring curl exercise. That's not to say you shouldn't still do like your RDLs and your hip hinge. You should absolutely do those as well, but just also giving it the other stimulus of some hamstring pulling in action. All right, so pretty easy to do with a ball. So laying down, if I start with heels on it, legs roughly out straight, and then I'm going to lift my bum just a tad, about the height of my fist if my hand's sitting on the ground like that. And then curling in, squeeze those hamstrings at the top, come out. Don't let the butt come back down to the ground. All right, if that feels really easy, you can go 2 in and just guide it out with 1. Right, and if that feels like, okay, I got that, then you can just go 1 the whole time and just go single leg hamstring curls. If you don't have the ball or you want to give a little more resistance, you can always go with band or cable resistance. You could do it lying on your stomach. Curl in, same thing. Get that ball out of the way there. It's probably going to come back. Boom, curl in. If I had the band set up around my ankle, could curl in. You could also do it seated and get that curling action. Just like when you take that step and you have to go through the swing phase up and over, you want that wheel motion, that hamstring has to pull up.
So now we're gonna work a little bit of hip rotation. So I'm gonna get myself into the 90-90 position. So front leg is going to be 90 degrees, and then my back leg is gonna be 90 degrees. I see a lot of people make this, not mistake, but they keep the back foot too close in. If that's comfortable for you, that's okay, but in this position particularly, we want that leg back out at 90 degrees. Another thing, I want to pay attention to where my belly button is in space throughout this whole entire movement, okay? So how we're gonna start this is belly button is going to rotate over the front leg. Both hands are gonna support myself sitting upright. I'm gonna gently lean over my front leg, hold for a second, and then come out of that, okay? From that position, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate my belly button towards the middle of my legs here. What you can do is lean back, pick your back foot up, and then once you can't lift your leg any higher, rotate belly button over and then totally switch, okay? So we can do that multiple times side to side. And another thing we can add to this for the low back and for the thoracic spine is just a little bit of a rotation. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to shift my free hand that's usually in the middle of my leg across my body, kind of walk that finger out. Can even get down on your elbow and reach across, get a nice big stretch through that whole entire back. Hold for a second and then come out. You can also make this more dynamic by just reaching and rotating through, or you can just hold it as a static position.